Hello. Hola, humans. Are you humans? Are you? Still? We're losing humanity, guys. We're losing humanity. In a matter of fact, I was thinking, I told you I have some Frenchies. I was looking at their behavior, and they're like they're like a little replicas of humans. They're taking wait a second, says Tammy is trying to control my camera. Decline or approve? I'm declining this. You can't control my camera. See, she says it's so funny. I could actually take I'm gonna take a little a screenshot right here. It's gonna be funny. No, oh, what is going on here? I'm gonna decline. Okay, I will not do it. I never seen this before. Like somebody's requiring me to control my camera. See, we're losing humanity now. It's so funny because I was start talking about having control issues, and see right away somebody trying to control my camera. Just kidding, Tammy. Just kidding. Anyways, how you guys doing tonight? I've been thank you. NSA is listening. Yes, I bet. That's how they banned my videos before and threatened me to do shit. guys, I'm very happy to hear. I was having some feedback. A lot of people today actually even sending me messages and letting me know that some of you, or probably a lot of you, fall asleep last night with the meditation. Is that correct? Yes. So that's amazing. Thank you so much, because it means that works, right? Well, I always knew that works, but I just want to clarify something. And that's the other part of the reason that probably I mentioned it before about this challenge is I want people to check out what we have here. And obviously, it's a little bit different. I like to be more like a friend with you guys, and have some good humor and good vibes and everything. And in the past, we have in a meditation with somebody start attacking us and all that thing. But we also have everything, right? Dramas and things like that. But we're not a drama place, and just our own dramas. But it's important, very, very important to me that you guys have a taste of the methods that I've been applying to people. And a lot of people doesn't know this, but I started actually doing this professionally speaking. Believe it or not, I started doing this when I was 15 years old, when I have my methods and I apply it to me. And the reason why I apply it to me, to myself, is because I was feeling like crap. And I was having a lot of issues with my mother, and you might remember I shared this before. I started hating her, and I have this feeling of hate in my heart, and then I was noticing that it was really hurting me. A lot of people would not give a shit about feeling hate in their hearts, and but I did. I didn't feel well to. I didn't feel well to have those type of feelings towards her. Even that I was very understanding, but even if she wasn't behaving really nice to me, she wasn't exactly the nicest mom to me. But even like that, I started having that hate, and it was eating me. It got me to be a kid. It started as a teenager, since kid, very depressive kid, teenager, super depressive kid. You wouldn't believe it. A lot of people think that I have like the best life, and they think that I have like no problems at all. Trust me, a lot of the things that I teach is because I have personal experience in a lot of different areas of my life. It's like I live my life very, very fast in a way. And yeah, at some point, even that I have family, and I have family that really care about me, and some of them more convenient, some of others from their heart, some others because they have to, right? How many of you feel at some point in your family that, oh shit, I have they have to deal with me, right? Just because I came out of my mom's womb, and my dad and my mom have some flint or something, whatever they have, right? Whatever you want to call it. And then we're part of a family that sometimes we're accepted or we're not. As you can notice, I wasn't exactly accepted. Even that, for example, my mom's family, they really try to their best to embrace me, but also I recognize that I was a very difficult kid. You know, not difficult in the way that I've been a little spoiled, rotten, or ass or something like that. No, I was difficult because number one, have you ever dealt with somebody that is 97% literal person? So imagine to deal with a kid that is literal. So see, I recognize that I could probably become a pain for them. So, but during that time, I noticed that I was very depressed in every aspect that I have to do with my mom, and I was anxious. And then I noticed another thing, and that's why I I think that the topic of today is going to be probably one of my favorites. I'm going to tell you why, because I actually have to learn myself and train myself to overcome this very early in my life. Because every time that my dad show up, which was like, I don't know, every 2 years, every 3 years show up or whatever, or my mom threatened me like, yeah, this year you're going to go with your father. Like, are you fucking kidding me again? Like, I'm here with you. I prefer you beat the shit out of me every day than going with my father. See, my father was not violent physically, but verbally he has this mind fuck that you would prefer your mom to beat the shit out of you than your father telling you shit, right? And anyways, so that's how I started noticing that I used to have a lot of sweaty hands. And if you ask me to put my hand like this, it will never look steady like now. It will always like shaking. How many of you had sweaty hands and shaking hands, right? So it's a problem. It's a nerve system problem. It's not just connected. It's not just your mind, but also your nerve system already is messed up. And a lot of us, we don't know when we are getting messed up because our parents sometimes they don't know, other people, they don't know. We're just humans acting like humans. Like Frenchies act like Frenchies, right? Frenchies are like enabled dogs. You have to carry them, you need to hold them, you need to talk to them like babies. And if you talk to them bad, they start behaving bad, like just like a kid. It's like, what the heck? I never knew that a dog can be like that. Seriously, I used to have dogs. Like, I used to breed dogs, and I'm telling you, I know the difference between a dog and a Frenchie. A Frenchie is not a dog anymore. It's like a human. I don't know if I can call it evolving into a different thing, transmutating into little thing right there with the power of a baby that can just look at you and you can see their face and you're like, oh shit, I cannot tell them anything bad anymore. So going back, yes, at 13 I recognized how messed up I was. I was very depressed and my life was very fucking sad, and I was angry, and I had all the emotions, and I hated. And that's when I pretty much channeled all these methods. Believe it or not, I channeled most of my methods at around that time. I just start putting it down, and then I have like this photographic memory inside, like an inner photographic memory that I remember every step until a few years ago that I was able to put. It's called Arturo's Legacy, Dralion Legacy Academy. I put together all my methods for people to study them. And I have so many people already studying the methods and becoming healers and doing all these things. But at 15 years old, I jump into AA, Alcoholic Anonymous, and I start just participating with them. And suddenly I start applying my methods, and the director of the center started looking how the people start actually behaving better and feeling better and doing things. And see, at this point, I'm just doing my passion. I'm not thinking of the results. So I'm gonna share my screen really quick, just for you guys to see what was the topic of today and what are we going to go over. So it's our day 5, by the way, or day 5, and today we're going to be navigating inner turmoil, hell and earth. And I call this because that's what anxiety does. So we're going to address pressure and anxiety, and the difference between pressure, just pressure, and how pressure, which is stress, becomes anxiety, and how you can be trapped in anxiety. Most of you probably don't know this because you never experience anxiety, right, guys? You never experience anxiety. We're going to talk a little bit about how to manage panic attacks, and we're going to end it up doing a reprogramming for anxiety. So I'm going to give you support by putting together something that a reprogramming, a meditation repro that will help you to address anxiety in case that you have it. Now, last night I told you when I was doing the meditation, I told you that I'm gonna do 2 of them, right? And I did that because sometimes I can make people go very deep, very fast. But in case that we prolong it and get a longer meditation, I don't know, 15 minutes or 20, whatever it is, I said we're gonna do a little couple minutes, in this case was 3 minutes. It's called a trigger. So the trigger will allow you to not necessarily listen to the entire meditation, but trigger the meditation again that was implanted in your head. Now you can reinforce the meditation anytime you want. Now the funniest thing is I saw a few of you, your faces and head just dropping like this and dropping like this with the mouth open because in 4 minutes you were out. So I have to make a decision like, okay, should I just make one for you guys? No, I promise I'm gonna make a trigger. So what I'm telling you today is that the one today, I might do a trigger too, okay? I might do a trigger too. It might not get you to sleep because that's not the purpose, but if I can achieve to have everything, all the components, since the very first one, we don't need a trigger. But if I notice, we will do the same thing as yesterday and I will do a trigger. Is that good? Cool for you guys? All right, please give me a favor. And if you give permission that we can use probably sometimes like a testimonial or something, can you share in the meanwhile while I start, can you share in the chat, how do you feel about yesterday? How do you feel the meditation? What do you think and feel about that meditation and that reprogramming? And if help you, I have a lot of feedback today, and somebody told me like, I fall asleep, then I wake up, and then after I wake up, I fall asleep until the next day again, like crazy. Like, so that's really good. Yes. I think that, Laura, do you want to ask a question? I noticed the little hand right there is happening. You want to ask a question? Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Thank you. I wanted to share my experience. I normally would have just said, fuck it earlier. I had somebody unexpected at my front door. I was trying to set up an appointment for a session. I was trying to set up something with my herbalist, and I was trying to scarf down food and make sure that she ate and wasn't cranky and make my tea so that way I could be here and ready and my computer restarted. Anyway, there's a million different fucking things. And normally I would have just fucked this shit and probably gotten my car and blasted some loud music. But because we had you can edit a lot of this out. I'm sorry, I'm using a lot of bad words. Um, because we had the meditations, I somehow was able to either unblock something or I don't know the exact word, but the imprint and I was able to have better control over my emotions and be able to multitask the way I normally do. Oh, and the crazy neighbors, of course. But yeah, thank you. That's
Oh,
my,
thank you so much. I really appreciate that, guys. Seriously, I'm happy that I'm being of help, and I really appreciate that you are sharing this with me. This is very important because really, I really want to make sure that you guys are having results. You know, I really believe that knowledge is good. Okay, you can read books, you can do a lot of things, but a lot of those a lot of that no a lot of that knowledge is never going into a practical way. I'm a very practical person, and it really makes a big difference when you have that knowledge, any knowledge, and you put it into practice and you start seeing. It's so important that before life coaches existed, I was probably one of the first life coaches, spiritual life coaches. And I remember during the time that I was doing it, nobody else was doing it. But obviously, I kept myself a lot underground because I manage a lot of metaphysics and energetics. And it's crazy to think that sometimes you just need to help somebody to move 1 millimeter from where you are. See, there is one thing that we need to know. We need to have the power to adapt. We need to have the power to adapt, because when our power to adapt is not there, that's when we start having most of our problems in life. That's when we start getting stuck. And in order to have that power of adapt, we need to be conscious that we need to keep moving forward no matter what. And it's very important that when we get stuck, a lot of times we don't achieve anything we want in life. And I guess that I was so eager my entire life to have results, not just in myself and in others. I don't know. I just born this way. I born caring in a way. And a lot of people might think that not. A lot of people might come and judge me because, I do everything raw. But this is me. And I give always myself from my heart to anybody that can accept me. And a lot of people will not accept me. Trust me. I've been through everything, and a lot of people will not accept me, and that's fine. That's fine. But it's always good to have in our hearts some type of something that will do something else that will help somebody else. That's how it works. I'm encouraging you, and I'm going to repeat before we move on and start talking a little bit more about anxiety. I invite you to have, even to create your own philosophy of life. But if not, I invite you to be a Dralion. See, I don't have a cult, I don't have a religion, I don't believe in a lot of those things, but I believe that when you start moving yourself in a better space and in a better direction, you can move others into better spaces and better directions. Not to you the same ones, because everybody's different. Everybody is an individual, and I respect individuals. I respect individuality. I respect what a lot of people, when they don't see what others are feeling. See, part of my job is to develop the ability to feel, be empathic, and develop to feel what the others are feeling. So I know now it's difficult sometimes because you can feel others, but they can take advantage that you feel them because now they can manipulate you. So you need to be strong too. You need to be strong too, very, very strong. And it's important. For me, this makes my day, like every day, to know that you guys are having good results. And I'm doing it from my heart. And seriously, I'm putting together a lot of stuff for whoever wants to keep developing. So the philosophy again is the Dralion philosophy. I put a name to it. It's a Dralion philosophy, which is get knowledge and put it into practice so you become wise. Get knowledge, put it into practice so you become wise. And once that you're wise, guess what? You will transfer it to others. You will transfer it to others one way or the other. You don't have to be an organized an organization that is full of crime. I'm sorry, that an organization that just take advantage of people. Oh, what the fuck is wrong with you, Arturo? I'm having a schizophrenic moment right now. I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean. I mean it. Yes, I mean it. Taking advantage of people. I don't like that. You know. I'm gonna say one bad word. Fuck them. Anyways, so sorry about that. I'm gonna try. No, I'm not sorry. But yes, see, I'm a Libra, so I'm in all the extremes. You know, sometimes I'm the right, I'm on the left, but I get back in the middle. Guys, let's go to hell together, because I call it hell, and it's not the religious hell. It's worse. Worse than the religious hell is the turmoil, the inner turmoil that you have to go through when you feel anxious. Now, a lot of people doesn't know this, but if you remember, you were so anxious, especially when you were a kid. When we were kids, we were trained to be anxious. Do you remember that part? Yes? Give me thumbs up if you remember that, right? When you're a kid, you're anxious because you don't know what the heck to do. You don't know what life it is, and everybody's trying to manage your life and controlling your mind, your life, your body, and everything. We need to start fighting back, guys. We need to fight back because we never pay attention what happens to us when we are kids. No matter of fact, it's very, very sad that in the world, one of the biggest business right now is kids kidnapping and all that thing. We need to start praying more and meditating more about sending to the collective consciousness that we need to get rid of that people. They're taking advantage of our kids. They're just doing it everywhere. In a matter of fact, I just knew of a town in Mexico that actually is dedicated to all that and is connected to this country, to the United States, and they're just trafficking kids. This is crazy. So see, if you remember, the problem is that kids are very vulnerable. You need to remember one thing: the first 8 years of your life, you are like a sponge. You're like a sponge, and everything that you hear, if somebody tells you that you're not good, you're gonna feel later that you're not good. If somebody tells you you're beautiful, you're gonna know that, it's gonna kick in that you're beautiful. You're a sponge the first 8 years of your life. It is at 9 years old when you start developing your critical mind. So you start asking questions, you start being a little bit more critical thinker in a way, and you ask questions and you start putting your parents, all depends your parents, right? If they're very open, you can come and say, Mom, do you remember when you told me that the stork brought me? And your mom like, yeah, my dear. Well, that's not true. I think that you have sex with my dad, if that's my dad. And you're like, what? Really? Right? So we start getting into building the critical mind, which allow us to start asking questions and start discovering, right? But we're still vulnerable. It's until 13 years old, guys, when we start at 13 developing our conscious mind. That's when we believe that we don't need anybody. Do you remember that part? We don't need anybody. I can go out without any permission. I can go out and probably live life, right? Without my parents. I don't need you, mother and father anymore. Mother and father. I don't need you anymore. Like Cher, right? I don't need you anymore. So, and we believe around that time that we're adults. And guess what? All the anxiety that we've been programmed with when we were little now starts kicking in. Oh, do you remember when you were 13 and all that anxiety started kicking in? You'll get anxious for everything. If you're a lady, you want to ask a boy out, or the boy want to ask you out, or whoever want to ask you out, no matter who it is or gender or anything, what happens? You get anxious. No matter what, you get anxious. You don't know what is going on. Your nerve system is ups and downs. The problem is when the inner turmoil starts because you cannot control the roller coaster. You agree that emotions are like a roller coaster, right? And the problem is that when you are in an emotional, when you become an emotional wreck, we have a saying in Spanish that says, Dios nos agarre confesados, means like, I don't even know how to say it. Anybody that wants the right translation, put it in the chat so I can take a look at what it is, because I don't even know what that would be, that terminology, but it's like, we're hoping that God discover what we're doing, but we already asked for forgiveness or something like that. Anyways, anxiety. Anxiety, I call it hell. Hell in earth. I think that somebody put something, hold on a second, says, God better catch us confessing. Yes, confess it, confess it. I call anxiety hell because it actually comes from the fire element. So I don't know if you notice when you're anxious, your actual temperature of your body normally, if you really pay attention from today, if you're anxious, your temperature will rise up. You know, your temperature will rise up and then it was gonna drop. And if your temperature drop, because there is so many different stages on anxiety. If your temperature drop, that's when you start having your hands sweating. But your hands is sweating because you're already your temperature rise up and it starts sweating and then drops. The sweating, is designed to help your body temperature to drop. Does this make sense? See, it's like when we're exercising. When we are exercising and we start sweating, we're sweating because our body is already hot. And the sweat is trying to make us to be more fresh, regain back the balance of our temperature. Now imagine, that's why it's a turmoil, because the problem is that when you have anxiety and you have it within yourself and your mind cannot stop, and you keep asking yourself questions and you keep like worry about things, anxiety can get from anything. You can get anxiety because the unknown. You can get anxiety because something nice, like you're gonna go out with somebody, you start getting anxious too. Some people get anxious if they're gonna drive. I have so many clients that they couldn't drive at some point. They couldn't drive, and I helped them to drive because the anxiety didn't allow them to drive. They couldn't even go in a car with other people because they were feeling the roller coaster. How many of you experience anxiety in a deep level or a very high level? Put it in the chat, please. It is crazy when you feel anxious and you don't have control. See, that's the problem, being anxious and not having control. So you need to understand that anxiety is hell. It's pretty much hell, And what happens between pressure and anxiety? It started as a pressure, and the pressure started making you anxious, which means you don't know what to do or how to stop. Now, today I'm going to share with you something very simple that can get you out of anxiety very, very fast. In a matter of fact, it will take you less than 30 seconds to start working it out in your way out of anxiety if this helps. I'm going to show you something very simple things that I share always in my other classes, but today I can share that with you, of course, before we do the meditation, so that will help us even deeper. But anxiety will create actually a complex. It will develop a complex. In a matter of fact, a lot of people doesn't know, but insecurity comes from anxiety. If you're anxious, you feel insecure. Do you guys agree? When you're anxious, it's because you are feeling insecure. What is the best way to start feeling more confident? What is the best way to us of feeling more confident? Trying something. practice more often something. In a matter of fact, a lot of people doesn't know this, but please, if you didn't regain your full body strength, don't try this. But if you can, just go on top of, step on a chair and just jump. Now, if you're very fit, that is not going to be a problem for you, right? But if you're not that fit, and of course, if you are having knee issues or something, don't try this. Just figure something out else. I'm being honest. I have a client long time ago, years ago, like, fuck, Arturo, I did what you said and I fucked up my knee. Like, what you mean what I said? Like, yeah, you said the jump from the chair. Like, okay. So what happened? Like, I fall and I broke my whatever, like something, one of the bones that I cannot remember, meniscus or something in the knee. Like, so what? So I didn't know that the person has a knee problem. So if you have knee problems, don't do it. Figure out something else. But what I mean with this, you need to practice and you need to allow yourself to take a little challenge, to take a little risk. Not that much if you're not ready for it, but take, like, for example, a lot of us, we lose our health in a way. We don't work out. How many of you guys don't work out? Let's be honest. See, everybody has their hands up. Just kidding. I cannot see you guys. That's the thing. I cannot even see you. It's like, just kidding. So thank you. So if you don't work out, a good challenge to make you feel more secure, more confident would be start walking and then start jogging and then one day run. And you're going to gain confidence. Now, if you can jump, step on a chair and jump, believe it or not, you're allowing your mind to become stronger and feel more confident. And that's going to help your mind too, because you're allowing your body to make your mind to feel better. So here's the thing. Anxiety will always come because we feel insecure about something. And I know that there is so many different areas in psychology that talks about anxiety. I don't want to go into all those things because I think that a lot of those things are just there to distract you from a simple thing. Now, I need you to understand one thing. Every emotion that you have has a specific way of breathing. And it might be different from person to person, but mostly, if you notice, observe, when you're angry, your breathing process is short and fast, right? It's short and fast. It's natural. It's your natural way of breathing. What happens when you're sad? You breathe a little bit and then very short breathe in, very long breathe out. It's because you're trying to pull out of you something, right? Like right? When we're sad, we cry sometimes, most times. I'm a crier. Yes, I'm a crybaby. Why not? Men's also cry, especially the strongest ones. We cry, right? The ones that say that they don't cry, probably they have small balls or something. Anyways, so I don't know how I come up with all these things, but anyways, here's the thing. You need to observe every emotion that you have, and especially those emotions that makes you lose control of something. You need to start paying attention which way you breathe. Okay? You need to pay attention which way you breathe. Now you're going to notice that the key to control anxiety is your breath. Most of the things in life even preparing yourself to do something great requires conscious breathing. Conscious breathing. See, when you are in an emotion, you have anxiety, you have that inner turmoil, your breathing is natural subconscious breathing. Listen to this. Your breathing is natural subconscious breathing. In a matter of fact, conscious breathing almost never happens until you go and do exercise. Naturally, you start breathing away, and then the coach says, take a deep breath, control your breath. So it's until somebody brings something up. Do you guys agree? Subconscious breathing adapts to the emotion of the person, right? Subconscious breathing adapts to the emotion of the person. It will also be the result of the emotion that is happening in your brain, in your head, in your mind. And this is going to bring me to talk a little bit about perception. Now, you can be programmed to perceive life in a very messed up way. Not everybody. But I discovered something a long time ago in my line of work. I have clients that are very poor, clients that are billionaires, clients that are very rich. And I noticed they all have one thing in common. We all have emotions. Some of us less, some others more, but we all have them. I always tell everybody cries at some point. Some people are stronger. Some people, they don't have to cry because economy is messed up. Some people don't have to cry because life is being very miserable. But miserable can be a life of some people think that having a lot of money is just the answer. Not necessarily. I've seen a lot of people with a lot of money having worse problems than people with no money. But in reality, everybody has problems. And that's the truth. And your breath is going to dictate how your mind actually absorbs your energy. Your breath is going to define how your mind is going to absorb your energy. The more your mind keeps going and is out of control, the more out of control is your breath. That's why it's important always to take a deep breath. There's some breath work that you can do to stop yourself all the time, right? Now, you might learn this from me before, and it's so funny because for years, I've had clients that come back at me and says, Arturo, you're very funny because when you teach stuff, it's like when you say your things, I'm thinking, you have kindergarten shit. I'm here listening to this Mexican guy saying that I have to breathe in this way and this is going to take care of my shit. But then I'm having hell and I remember what you teach and I do it and it actually works. It actually works. It's very simple. So what to do when your mind is out of control? What to do when your emotions are out of control? Do you just need to take a deep breath? No. Probably sometimes a deep breath is not enough. But this is a mathematic. Probably you just need more than a deep breath. What I mean, you don't need anything else. You don't need to know 354 steps to become relaxed, like a lot of books does that to you, right? Life is simple. God, do you think that God, the universe, the designers, whatever, let's pretend that whoever created or whatever created the entire world and the universe, it was stupid? No, it makes things very simple for us. We make them difficult. We're difficult creatures. Very difficult creatures. We're an amazing machine. So what to do in a breathing process, what to do when you're out of control, when you're feeling a lot of anger. Let's believe that you're not out of control, but you feel anxious. You feel anxious, and not just feeling anxious, but you keep being angry or sad or something. How you're going to stop that? Let's do an exercise. You guys are ready for an exercise? A simple one. And I bet that it's going to take less than 30 seconds, okay? I need all of you to close your eyes. Just close your eyes for a moment. And I need you to allow yourself to bring a memory in your mind of something either very sad or very with a lot of anger. Something that makes you feel uncomfortable, and just allow yourself. Don't worry about it. We're gonna make it go away, okay? Just do it, and allow your body to start adapting, and allow your mind to keep thinking of it. Keep thinking of it. All right. On my count of 3, I need you to breathe in and out 10 times very fast, like this. And after 10, in the 11, you're going to do deep breath and put it out through your mouth. Ready? Just keep thinking. 1, 2, 3. Open your eyes. Now I need you to pay attention to your mind and tell me if your thinking process actually is not there anymore. Stop, or is less. There you go. There you go. Put it in the chat, please. Put it in the chat. See? This oxygen that you are bringing to your brain, to your bloodstream, is actually now functioning to move the speed of the blood flow and allowed you to change your breathing, change the pattern of thinking process. I put my glasses so I can see. Yes, less gone, mind relax. Yes. I poke my eye with my glass. So, does this make sense? Now, if you're still feeling it, guess what you do? Who tells me? Put in the chat. What do? You do it again. And now you feel like, I don't know how you get relaxed. Some people get relaxed with a glass of wine, some people with a beer, some people with, I don't know, something, right? Whatever. Some people with tea, some people with something else. I'm not going to mention anything, right? And something else. During that period of time, you feel like this little sound that is like right there. Your mind has no space for the same emotion. So breath work is gonna take care of your anxiety. Now, what about managing panic attacks? It's very crazy. I had an experience on the street one day. I was on the street. There's 3 ladies from a religious group that knocks the door, and some other religious group normally put stamps or things and stickers in their or pictures in their windows and their doors and says, "You guys are not welcome. Us along. We are this other religion," right? So they were just knocking every door and all these things, and suddenly there was 3 of them, the youngest one, going to the ground, on her knees, and she with her hands start touching down the ground, and they're like, what is happening? They don't know what was happening. And I was walking and I saw her and I recognized she was having a panic attack. Panic attack can be presenting in different ways. If any of you have a panic attack before, please put it in the chat. You can do it. You can do it private if you want, but if not, just share it. If you have a panic attack, if you have panic attacks before, you will notice that some people actually lose balance. The only thing that you want is to touch the ground. You need to be grounded because you're literally not grounded. Some people will get blur vision. The vision will be blurred. Some people will feel that they're falling. It will activate the fear to falling. Some people will just grab their heads like this because it activates the fear of loud noise. But at the end is a panic attack. And panicking is because fear is all over their minds and their bodies. A lot of people doesn't know, but panic attacks comes because something is triggering your survival mode. The only problem is that the survival mode can be changing from freeze to fight or flight, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So we don't know which way is going to happen. Now, they start praying on the lady, and they were putting their hands in their head and God, and she's still having it. So I get closer and I said, do you guys need help? And one of the ladies said, no, we're fine. The Lord is going to take care of this. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, all right. And I'm seeing this poor thing, this poor girl just having the worst panic attack. And I'm literally, now a lot of people doesn't know that a panic attack can be a few minutes, a couple minutes. It could be a couple of hours. Do you guys know that? A panic attack can last a couple of hours, an hour or two, believe it or not. And I hear of cases, I did never witness one that lasts more than 2 hours. But after 10 minutes of praying, I didn't see the Lord taking care of this thing, right? I'm looking like, where are you, man? Dude, she's falling, man. Like I look, and she was like bad and hold on, let me get some tea right here so I can continue. Anyways, so finally I didn't give a shit, and I got in front of her, and I start doing it on my own. So that way she mimics me, and I start giving her direction. The panic attack stopped within 3 minutes or less of helping her to have a breath work and start talking to her and distracting her. It's a distraction. You need a distract, and you need to change the way of the breath it is. Now, in a panic attack, the breath can be changed. It's not the same for everybody. A lot of people would think like the panic attack is, in reality, some people stop breathing. What you need to tell them? Breathe. Come on, breathe, listen. And you do it with them because the body of the person will mimic. Monkey sees, monkey does. I'm not calling her monkey. She actually was very cute. And so then the ladies actually get angry at me because I shouldn't do it, they said. The girl says, thank you. And she actually walked. And the other ladies start walking behind her. She was pissed at them. I'm not saying that what I did is going to help them to realize that sometimes our beliefs are not strong enough. They always said God will help us. Yes, but God somehow is letting us know in this beautiful planet that is designed for us to figure shit out. He gives us the stuff, the capacity to figure out things. Do you guys agree? We can figure things out. We're smart. We're intelligent. But if we are having something that gets us out of control because something happened to us, panic attacks normally every time that, including some type of schizophrenic people having some type of listening to voices and all these things, and it's not like a psychiatry case, there is a chance that they're just having this because they're holding. If you have an anxiety, a panic attack, or even listening to voices or seeing things, is because there could be the result of holding. And that opens your channels, and then now you're perceiving other spiritual stuff that you might not, that shouldn't be perceiving, right? That makes things worse. So you need to be aware that you are experiencing anxieties because you're holding something. I have a case, I remember this case. This was an 11 years old girl. She was very tall. She was developing her body, and she wasn't speaking. Finally, the mother came to me and brought her to me and says, "Can you help?" I said, "What's the problem?" She said, "She's scratching her hands all the time and she's not speaking." I said, "Like, do you mean speaking like at all? Like she's in silence?" She's like, "Yeah, she's in silence." "For how long?" "For 2 months." 2 months. So probably she's holding something. So finally I asked the mom, like, can you let me ask her something? So I removed the mom because I noticed that the girl was not able to speak because of the mom. So I removed the mom, and I was able to achieve for the girl to say yes or no by writing. I discovered that she was being molested by the stepfather and by a person that was renting in the house of these people. She was having panic attacks. He was having anxiety. And she decided not to speak anymore. She was holding it so much that she couldn't speak up. Because now she was programmed by those two idiots, those two a-holes, to don't say anything. How many of you at some point in your life have to experience, this pissed me off, had to experience that you cannot express yourself? You probably didn't go through a lot of crap, not just because of your personality, because somebody else didn't like that you express yourself. Now we have a big problem right now, guys, because our country, this country where we live right now, is doing it to everybody. It's cutting left and right expression. They want you to express in a dysfunctional way, but don't express your true feelings. And they think that the system and the psychological system is going to help everybody. Seriously, if I can tell you how many, I'm not talking shit about them. I think that they're doing a great job in a way of whatever limited knowledge they have about humans, because they just know psychology. They don't know energetics. A lot of my clients are psychologists and psychiatrists, and trust me, they're going through hell too. So it's time for you to start speaking up, to start expressing yourself. If you cannot express verbally, start drawing something, writing something, typing something, and then Speak up. That way, if you start changing your breath, your actions, your behavior, guess what is going to happen? You're going to change the perception of your life. The perspective that you're seeing things is going to change and give you a different perspective. We will give you different perception. Once that you have a perception of your life in a specific spot, you can set up your mindset. Remember this is the most important part of healing and reprogramming, to have the right mindset that will give you the perception of your life and will make your life much better. Probably not perfect, but sometimes better is perfect. Is that right? The perception of your life. If your life is not good, if you are suffering in so many different areas, you need to know that your perception of life is probably not the correct one. You can achieve as much of things as you can achieve in this lifetime if you decide to work in your mindset. Actually, I'm gonna do a little commercial right here. You will notice that when we finish the app, when the app is out, you guys are gonna have access to 5 different programs that can help you in so much. And all of them, whichever fits you, it will get you to get to work in your mindset. The mindset that you have, automatic mindset, which is your programming, is the one that is making you be or suffering or feeling the way that you feel if you don't feel well. Does this make sense? Anyways, I'm gonna go really quick through, see if there was any questions here. And oh crap, I missed a lot on the, see, yesterday, I'm gonna apologize today because somebody sent me the message of somebody else mixing with their own message, and I read it and I shouldn't because there was a kid involved. but anyways, it wasn't that bad, I hope. But I just read stuff and I didn't pay attention. So it's better for me in a way not to pay completely attention, but yes, I do pay attention, and I'm reviewing it here. It's just sharing. Oh, wow. Thank you. I'm reading a lot of private message about the meditation of last night. Somebody says that my boobs got bigger after the meditation, and just kidding. Somebody like, what the heck you're talking about? No, thank you for your kind words. Anyways, let's go down. There's no questions. There are no questions here. Anybody has any question before we start with the meditation?
Arturo, there was 2 questions. One was asked if there's anxiety, does the sweat smell worse when you sweat? You were speaking of sweating earlier.
Yes, it does, by the way, because the sweat makes you to detox, and whatever you have in your system, see, it's your natural response and natural reaction to get rid of whatever is inside that is bothering you. And believe it or not, a lot of that is your own personal body chemistry. So yes, you can. I know, sounds funny, right? If you're a more anxious person, you can be a little bit more smelly than everybody else. Unless you just don't like to shower, right? But everybody here showers every day, right? No problem showering. Everybody loves the water. Some people are. Anyways, so yes, it can do that.
There's another question.
Yes.
To block people is the dark bubble?
Yes. So blocking people. Okay, there is this exercise that probably you heard in other of my classes, when when you feel, if you're very empathic and you're sensitive to energies or vibrations from other people, this is what I would recommend you. And you need to visualize yourself surrendered. First of all, imagine yourself that you're inside of a blue bubble. Okay? Then in your imagination, you cover the blue bubble with a black bubble. Okay? And that will disconnect you from the feelings and to block whatever other energetics are going on with you. Now, if you feel that the energetics are actually very bad, you will cover the black one with mirror. Imagine like a wrap of mirror, and that will return the energetics to whatever they're coming from. This is a very nice exercise that actually helped with that a lot of empathic people, because I still being very empathic, very, very empathic. I hope that answered the question. So okay, thank you. All right, so let's do it. Let's do the meditation, reprogramming, repro meditation, transmutation meditation. You will notice that we're going to have inside of the app, we're going to have something that is going to be called Mind Repro Lab. Mind Repro Lab is going to be a place where you're going to have so many different categories where you can get reprogrammings and meditation reprogrammings for so many different things, like for sleeping, for working out. If you cannot work out, there's going to be things for you to working out. If you normally have a lot of problems in your relationship, it's going to be a lot of meditations and reprogrammings for relationships, all about relating, self-love, calm the fuck down, relaxing. It's so many different categories that you're going to be there. Everything is going to be raw. Everything is going to be raw, like always, and it's going to be there. I might be I'm going to the mountain probably, and a squirrel is going to be talking to me right there next to me, and it's going to be in the recording, the squirrel right there. That's what you needed. All that is going to be raw, just raw channel repros and meditations right there. It's going to be also co-meditation, guys. If you're familiar with co-meditation was one of the first things I was doing it for. I did for like a 5 or 6 years on the road every Friday at 6 p.m. This is coming up again in January 5th. January 5th, co-meditation is coming. If you're watching this and you're already in the app, probably co-meditation is already in, so don't worry about it. So co-meditation is coming back, and we used to gather, and after COVID, they prohibited to us to have gatherings where sick people, and so we stopped it, and co-meditation is coming back, and it's going to be every Friday at 6:15 p.m. at the store, but also it's going to be a stream. So we're going to stream it online, and it's going to be also at the store for those that wants to go there and have some tacos, coffee, and everything else that normally we have, because people bringing stuff. So anyways, we're going to have that. We're going to have also a accessing healing is a program that is called the I Am Healing Lab, and it's going to be a lot of healing into that, and anything that has to do with healing and reprogramming. And also we're going to have the manifesting and group. The Manifestus group is all about manifesting techniques and follow-up, and a lot of has to do with money, and anything that has to do with manifesting is going to be right there. That is going to be a little bit more exclusive, because I really want people there that are going to be very dedicated to their success. So if you're not ready for that, don't even apply. I'm serious. But if you think that you're ready, you can apply to it. So it's going to be by applying. And obviously a lot of people don't know this, but I have a program that is called the Healing Day Method, where I have over 50 people in that program, and some of you guys are already there, and I think that you've been enjoying. It's deep healing. is all the methods, all the deep healing. If you guys are in the program, if is anybody here in that program, you can probably share a little bit any benefits that you get in that program in the chat. See, anyways, so children of the corn, I'm ready. Are you ready? Let's do it. I don't even know why I called you guys children of the corn. It was like a terror movie or horror movie or something like that. Well, life is like a horror movie sometimes. So yes, we all are children of the corn. And I like corn, by the way. Let's see. Here it is. So this meditation we're going to do, this is going to be a reprogramming or something that help you to reprogram a little bit the way that you react when you have anxiety and help you to relax when you have anxiety. Okay? If I notice that the meditation is going to be a little bit longer, I'm going to divide it in two like yesterday, and I'm going to create a trigger for you. So that means that this trigger is going to be probably even shorter than 3 minutes, but it's going to be created by the meditation. So remember, once in a while, you need to listen again to the meditation, and you keep practicing the trigger. You keep listening to the trigger. Okay? You guys ready? Very good. Let's do it. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. One more time. Deep, deep breath. And one more time. Deep, deep, deep breath. Now focus in your breath. Now on my count of 3, you're going to take those 10 fast breaths, inhaling, exhaling, one after the other 10 times. And then you're going to take one more deep inhale, and you're going to put it out through your mouth. 1, 2, 3. And just relax. I need you to observe and pay attention how after that your breathing process actually change. Your breath slows down, stabilize, balance more, and it has no need for faster breathing, and helps you to become conscious of your breath. Now for a moment, visualize yourself standing in the surface of the moon. Somehow you are right there in the surface of the moon. And you look around and you can see stars. You can see the earth, the planet, the sun. And you're right there just by yourself. And there is this feeling of being by yourself right there. It might trigger so many different type of feelings. Everybody is different. Just pay attention what makes you feel. It might give you a little anxiety. Some of you might just feel nice and relaxed. Just stay there. Next to you, there is going to be a little green and red chair, like a kid's chair made of wood. Sit down right there. It's a small chair. You barely fit, but you make it. Just sit right there and observe the outer space and relax. And focus in your breath and notice that everything is in silence. Everything is in total silence. Everything is in peace. Everything is in calm. And for some reason, you don't feel anxious, just feel calm. And being able to be there by yourself instead of triggering anything else, it just let you be with yourself, knowing that the moon represents, metaphorically speaking, emotions, and you are in calm, resting, relaxed, sitting in control of your emotions. In that cute chair that represents your childhood, that represents that part of you, that inner child of yourself that loves to laugh, that loves to play, that is eager to be alive, is eager to dream with no limits. My count of 3, you're gonna visualize yourself sitting in that chair when you were 3 years old. 1, 2, 3. Picture yourself being a 3 years old sitting in that chair. And you're amazed, so amazing what you're looking at. This outer space feels like a dream. And then you jump, and you notice that you can jump very high, and you go back down to the ground, very soft, and you're laughing. And you do a jump, flip forward, and you can land in your feet, and then you go back and back flip, and you land in your feet. You might be dancing. You're just happy. And then you sit in the chair, and then you open your eyes as big as possible, and you're so amazed how peaceful the outer space can be. So quiet. All your emotions in the right place, under control. There's nothing else in your heart. There's nothing else in your mind. Just fun, good dreams, and your imagination. The most precious gift that our Creator gave you. The mother of creation is your imagination. And you're right there. Your body feels relaxed. There is no more anxiety. From today, promise yourself that from today, every time that you feel anxious, you will take a few seconds to go back to your chair, 3 years old, sitting on the surface of the moon and having the best view of the outer space. Promise yourself from today, every time that you feel anxious, anything that has emotions out of control, you will trigger the moon, and the moon will trigger your inner peace. Emotions under control. Lock that in your heart. Lock it in. Feel it. Happy. And allow your dreams. Allow yourself to be a kid again. And recover those things that sometimes when we grow up we lose, like the power to dream in the future. Dream on the future. Dream how you want your future. What you want to be, what you want to have, what you want to achieve. And see yourself in the future, because you have that power, because you are a kid that can have the capacity to imagine and dream your future. There is no more anxiety. And knowing that if anxiety comes, it's just letting you know that it's time for you to pay attention to something that you're holding on. And it's time to release it. Mentally, physically, spiritually. It's time to put it out. And just relax and allow yourself to be the moon, the reminder, and the trigger itself. In your mind, you can see always the moon for yourself, triggering your inner peace. No more anxiety. Recovering your nerve system, putting it into the right balance. The moon, the moon, the moon. do the 10 times breathing. Go ahead. Open your eyes, fully awake, fully awake. How you guys doing? Anybody passed out? I hope no, because this was designed to don't let you pass out. I hope. Nice. Very good. Very good. All right, guys. Anybody has any question before we leave? We're about to leave. And today, our first or fifth day of the challenge. 2 more to go. 2 more to go. Remember, guys, by the way, I'm gonna ask you a favor. I'm gonna send you, you're gonna see a survey at the end of the challenge, the last day of the challenge. And the last day we're gonna do also the everything else that I told you in the beginning. And but anyways, the survey, please fill it up and let us know how we did. And remember, after the challenge, there's gonna be one more. We're gonna rest a day. I think that we finish on the 10th, and then we rest the 11th, and in the 12th, we're gonna have 1 hour of Q&A. So I need you to actually make your questions, have all the questions that you can have, and have them ready for that day if you want to participate. And of course, we always have good stuff and surprises for you. I hope to see you tomorrow again. I'm so proud that you made it to the 5th day, and I'm very happy that you're having great results, and that you're having different ways of feeling better, and you have more tools. And I guess that's it. I talk too much. So chingon. Good night, everybody. Have a wonderful time. Have a wonderful time. Send you a big hug. Bye-bye.